Okay, my name is Maritza, and I just kind of wanted to go over what your daily schedule would look like. For the first 3 hours of the day, I'm going to want you to cold call, and so I was going to go a little bit over the system. The system I use right now is Call Tools. This would be your username and password. I can give that to you. And so I would just expect you to sign in. You would click no thanks, continue, go to agent dashboard, and make sure
to the predictive dialer.
Yeah, make sure that says connected to predictive, and then here make sure it says available, and then you would just start calling all these campaigns. Preferably you would go from the ones that are the most amount of leads, and then just go down. So in order to start calling, you just click join campaign. You need to have headphones plugged into your computer in order for the people to call you. So the first call you will do will be to my number, which is this number here. And you could just call me, and we will see how well you sound at the house, with your headphones. So you just click join campaign to join, and then when someone finally answers, you might hear a beep, and then their card will come up just like this on the screen. This is their first name. Sometimes the system mixes it up where the first name is actually the last name, the first name. So if you look at it and it sounds like the first name is very, very weird, then what you could do is just say, hi, I'm looking for the property owner of, and then you say the address, right? Or you could just say the street address, which would be, hi, I'm looking for the property owner of Southeast 31st Lane. If you are unable to pronounce their first name, or it just seems like it's a really weird name. So that's what you would do. There's 4 things. Primarily, I'm going to want you to email me. I'm going to want you to email me if it's a lead. Let's go over the dispositions for a second. If it's a wrong number, they'll tell you. But in order, before you put that down as wrong number, like the first person you will answer will be like, hi, I'm looking for Carmen, right? And then they'll say, oh, I'm not Carmen. You'd be like, okay, well, are you the property owner of 627 Southeast 31st Lane by any chance? If they hang up, before you're able to do that, then just put wrong number. But if they give you the time to answer, then sometimes they'll say, oh, no, I am the owner. So the name might be wrong, but they might actually be the property owner, or they might say, oh, yeah, that's my sister, or my wife, or my husband, and so then you say, oh, okay, well, that, and, then you continue on with the script. So if they give you a chance, ask them that, and then if they say, they're not the right person, so you put wrong number. Nurture, this is like a cold lead. This is someone that you would be following up with. A nurture lead is someone that basically says that they would like to sell, but maybe in a year or more. It's typically what they sell. It's typically what they say. Hung up just means that, they hung up on you, or you hung up on them because no one said anything. Do not call, that's if someone tells you, please take me off your list. You just put them as a do not call. Left information, sometimes we are calling like office, like assistants, and we give them the information if their boss isn't around. If it's a hot lead or a warm lead, hot means that they want to sell right now, right away, within the next 7 to 10 days. Immediately email me that lead, immediately, and I will get back to them as soon as possible within the same day or the following day. A warm lead is someone that wants to sell within the next 3 months, or within the next 6 months more or less, and I can follow up with them. Not available, it could just, I don't use that one very much. Fax, you will know, because the fax noise will come up. Voicemail, sometimes the system doesn't, it thinks that someone picked up, but really it's a voicemail, and you'll know because a voicemail message will come on, and it'll say beep, and so then you just put voicemail. No answer means, someone maybe answered. Usually I never use this one, but not interested, someone that says they don't want to sell. Or sometimes people will say, oh, I already sold that property. So I do want to know if it was already sold, if you could ask them, oh, when did you sell it? And put that, when they sold it here on the note. That would be great. And then just save it. And once you save the disposition, like this one was not interested, so once you save that, it'll go away. It'll automatically go away when the person answers. So that's basically what I would want you to do for the first 3 hours of the day. And then, if you do have a hot or a warm lead, remember a hot or a warm lead is someone that, wants to sell within the next, if it's hot, 7 to 10 days, they want to sell right away. They have a lot of motivation. If it's a warm lead, they want to sell within the next 3 to 6 months, and there is a reason why they want to sell. The way I want you to send this to me, even if it's a cold lead, I want you to send it to me just so I know how many leads, but you will be the one following up with the cold leads who say they want to sell in more than 6 months or they want to sell in a year or more. You'll follow up with them. I won't be following up with them, okay? So you, let's make believe this is your email and you're emailing me, and you're going to put either hot, warm, or cold lead, okay? And I'm going to change the disposition on there. So instead of it saying nurture, we're going to put cold so that you know you're following up on the cold leads, okay? I want you to put the person's name, property address, phone number, and then the next 4 bullet points, which would be condition, timeline, motivation, and price. The first question you're always going to ask has to do with the condition. And I want you to find out the roof year, if it has any leaks, any roof leaks. I want you to find out the AC, what year it was replaced. Sometimes they don't know the year, but, if you can get an idea, that'd be great. And, any other repairs that need to be done to the house. You can ask them if they've done, any remodeling in the last 5 years, what they've done, you ask them that. And then if we're calling Missouri, which usually I put KCMO or Kansas or something, so all these are Missouri. Then we're also going to ask if there are any structural issues. If that needs to be fixed, okay, because that's a big thing in Missouri. Timeline, typically I ask, well, when are you looking to sell your property? And sometimes they say, oh, I don't have a timeline, which that's okay, just put no timeline. And then you could ask, okay, well, are you looking to sell within the next year or a few years down the road? If they say a few years down the road, then we're not going to waste our time in following up. If they say in a year or so, then we'll follow up with them. Okay, and then motivation. A lot of times they'll say, oh, it's a rental property, I've been renting it, it's been great, or they'll say, it's my property, it's in great condition, or whatever. So the question asked would be like, okay, well, it sounds like it's a good rental property for you. Is there a reason why you're looking to sell it? If they say it's a rental property, you say that. Or if not, you'll say, well, it sounds like it's a good property for you. Is there a reason you're looking to sell it? And then they may or may not say anything. But if they do say something, then, put that information in. The price, I like to ask like 2 or 3 different ways. The price, just say, is there a price range in mind that you're looking to sell it as? And then sometimes you'll say, no. because they don't really want to tell you. Be like, okay, well, do you have, do you know what the neighbors are selling for? Or do you have a ballpark range in mind? I won't hold you to it. It's a good thing to say. Or you could ask, are you just looking for retail value on the property, or, things like that. It's just trying to get an idea of what price range they are in. And that's how I want you to send it to me, okay? And then just email it to me saying, hot lead, or you would say warm lead, or you would say cold lead. And then if it's a cold lead, I guess I could tell you when to follow up with them, but for the hot lead or the warm lead and the cold leads, I do want you to include the call recording on the email so I can hear it. And I can show you how to do that. You'll have to go to the manager dashboard. You can go to, I believe it's reports, call log, and let's just say, look, I'm just looking for something, but you would go to call log, and you can look it up by phone number if you have the number, and these are all the calls that are recorded. So you can look to see which one it was. If you called that day, that same day, then you would download it here. You download to your computer, and then you would just attach the file to the email, and that's how you do it. Okay, so that's primarily what you're going to be working the most on. Let me know if you have any questions.